time to talk. It's not about, well, let's just go back to it. Devin Haney, 134.9. The limit is 135. George Kambosos, 135.36. It's not about the fact that he can lose the weight. You know, he's going to likely lose the weight. Like, it's rare. Like, if it's more than, if it's about close to a pound or so, sometimes, you know, fighters, you know, they don't have nothing else to give. But that's an amount that should be able to, you know, he should be able to lose. The problem is, why did he not, you know, like, it's the biggest fight in Australian boxing history. You know, it's embarrassing, especially when you were talking shit. You see what I'm saying? He was talking shit. So, you know, I understand the George Kambosos fans. I like George too. You know, I understand, you know, what you guys, you know, you're like, who's this mate chatting shit? That's not the point. The point is, you can't just be talking all this shit and then show up on this grand stage, pay-per-view platform. Main event over there is pay-per-view. You know, $59.95 is what they're charging the people for that over there. Here in the States, it's on ESPN, regular ESPN, prime time ESPN. That's our biggest sports platform here. You're calling a man rat and, you know, all kind of shit like that, and then you don't make weight. That's all I'm saying. It's a bad look. You know, it's just a bad look. Now, like I said, that's the amount of weight he can lose. But what if he don't have nothing else to give in the belly? So normally, you know, adult conversation here, what fighters normally do is they go take a shit. You know, and then if that don't work, they try to expel what they have. But when fighters are cutting weight, they don't normally have anything to give. You know? So maybe he might have to cut his hair. You think that's a third of a pound? A fourth of a pound? Let's see, I don't know. He's got a good head of hair. Maybe it's real dense. But that's going to be the headline tomorrow if he has to cut his hair. But I already knew. So first, let me tell you what he did first. You can usually see, you know, and I've covered hundreds, maybe even thousands of weigh-ins. I'm probably closing on 1,000, maybe. I don't know. Like hundreds of weigh-ins. You know, let's just say that. And you can kind of tell, like, when a fighter not going to make weight. You know, they start fucking around on the scale. They start looking around and shit, trying to, you know, be perfectly still. I'm going to wait for this broadcast. This is still live. I'm going to wait for this to wrap up, and then we're going to go break it all down. In fact, let me see if Big J free right now while they're on the broadcast. And see what he thinks about the weight. Big J is my colleague. He was there at the press conference yesterday. He's going to be there tomorrow night. We agreed both that it was no point of us going to the weigh-in, you know, unless, let's see what he has to say. What he has to say. What's going on, man? We're still watching the broadcast if you're watching the stream. But let's talk about the weight.
Yeah, not a good look. Not a good look for George at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got to be able to make the weight on the first go. Like Jeff Fennick said, his team should have made sure that he was on weight on the official scales. Doesn't matter what the hotel scales say.
Yeah.
If, you know, that's the matter. And Haney, he got on the scales and then he didn't even wait for the weight, he just took off.
I saw that too. And he weighed in at 134.9 right there at the limit. You know, like
so
right there.
I'm thinking that he just wait for the limit to come up and then took off, because that looked a bit dodgy as well.
Yeah, it was. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I probably wouldn't have spotted that until we go back and I run it back like in real time.
No, the official, the blonde lady, the official Victorian sports, whomever she is, was sitting there looking, and then he just backed off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that looks as dodgy as all. Yeah, that looks as dodgy as all hell. George will make the weight easy, but he should have made it in the first place. I mean, no stone unturned. You'd think that, get on the official scales and make sure that I'm on weight before anything else happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because now people will just say all sorts of crazy shit. Because who does he look like now? He looks like bloody Tio did in their fight.
Yeah.
Tio didn't make weight. Tio was talking all sorts of shit. Yeah, it's like, yeah. it's like the one thing that you need to do as a boxer, if you're not a heavyweight, is make weight. That's the whole point of divisions in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make weight, then that's pretty much the cornerstone of boxing professionalism. If you can't do that, it's not a good look. But he'll make weight easy.
Yeah.
But he should have made it on the first try, especially at that level.
And on the, like, my issue is, he was talking all this shit throughout the week, selling the fight. And then for the biggest fight, of his career on his homeland, on a big, major global platform, you don't make weight. I'm sorry. I understand the George Kambosos fans, they don't like to hear, this type of stuff, but it is the truth. Now, somebody posted in the chat, it's an unnecessary distraction, Dr. Munfungo. It's an unnecessary distraction.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because now he has to go.
And for my, go ahead.
They say he has to go take a piss or go to the go to the toilet or have a skip or a sauna or something.
Well, he's got 2 hours.
I mean, what? Yeah, he has to get that little bit extra off. He'll probably come in at about 134.8 or something, and then he'll be right to go. But he should have made it in the first place. But I mean, this time tomorrow, it probably won't be an issue. But then again, how many times the fighter's not made weight? Yeah. Yeah, it's a bad look. And how many times the fighter's not made weight and then got the shit kicked out of him?
And now it's going to be the question of, like, wait a minute. Kambosos is supposed to be the smaller fighter than Haney.
That's right.
Is he drained? What if he doesn't have anything to give? And another thing I want to bring up is it's customary for you to, like, your hotel scale, okay, whatever, what the fuck, but you're supposed to get up there and test that official scale, so that's not a lot. That's, if that's the truth that they didn't, even do that beforehand, that doesn't make any sense to me.
No, well, I don't know because I wasn't there this morning, so.
But you would think that they would, though. I know they do it here in the States.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because there's always a thing, it was like that official scale shouldn't be touched by anybody unless the official's standing right there next to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, because we all know that teams and stuff play games with scales. That's been rumored to be happening for years. So to fuck with people's minds. But I'm confused why they wouldn't have got on the official scale before the actual weigh-in and go, yeah, mate, you're on weight, no worries, way you go. Like an hour before the actual weigh-in. So.
I mean, it raises a lot of questions, but the main event broadcast is still on, and it looks like they're going to be on for another 13 minutes or so. But to change the subject a little bit, since we have the people here watching, and you have a very bold prediction here, who do you have winning? Oh, by the way, in the chat, I'm going to ask you right now, who do you have winning? I'll make it simple for you. We're going to do, since he's the A side, we're going to do, if you have Kambosos winning, 1. Just put 1 in the chat. If you have Haney winning, 2. And I'm going to put a poll in the chat as well so you guys can vote. But me, before I let Big J go, I have Devin Haney by decision. Now more than ever. I wouldn't be surprised if Devin Haney drops him, and I may even say he may even try to stop him. And may stop. I'm not going to say it. My prediction is going to be a decision. Unanimous. Has your prediction changed? And tell the fans what your prediction is.
Well, my prediction's always been 9th round TKO. So in favour of Kambosos. So I really think that the weight, I mean, we're talking 140 grams here. That is really not that much.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he was half a pound or a pound over or 3 pounds over. He's 140 grams, which is 2/10 of fuck all. So that's not really the issue. I'm still thinking, when I make a prediction, I generally stick with it. So I'm still going 9th round TKO. So that's my prediction. So that's what I think. And I think I agree with you. Someone's going to get dropped, but they might both get dropped. That would be an interesting fight.
Mm-hmm.
So if they both get dropped, it'd be a great fight. So, but yeah, I'm sticking to my guns. 9th round TKO.
Well, I'm looking at social media right now, and it seems as though fans are pissed at Kambosos because, like I said, for me, as I said, it was. Like, this is a big event, and right now he created this headline and this distraction for himself,
Well, yeah, the fans have got every right to be pissed at him. So, when it comes down to it, making weight is the cornerstone of the professionalism of boxing.
Yeah.
You can't do that, then everything else just gets thrown out the window.
Yeah.
So, and the tide has turned. The pendulum has swung in Haney's favour now because A, he made weight, even though it looked a bit dodgy. B, his father's on the way and the other trainer, so they'll get here sometime, this afternoon, maybe even tonight. So,
what time is it over there right now?
Let me see. It is 10:50 a.m.
Okay, so basically a little bit before 11 a.m. and right here, here in the States on the East Coast, it is 8:50. The time is down below, as you can see on the screen. So,
so the main
Friday
card
night here, Saturday morning over there.
Yeah, the main card kicks off in about 24 hours.
Okay. So before I let you go, let's talk about the undercard. Lucas Browne versus Junior 5. What do you think about that fight?
Oh, someone's definitely going to get knocked out. And
who do you think is going to get knocked out?
50-50, I don't know, because if Lucas lands his shot, Junior 5 is going to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But if Junior lands it, it's whoever gets to the big shot in first. It's literally a 50-50 fight.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, you'd have to give the advantage to Junior 5 because he's younger and he'd be quicker. But Lucas Browne, if he's at his best, he can take a shot and he can dish him out. He proved that against Django Opalou, knocked him out cold for hitting the ground. And Django Opalou's no slouch.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really 50-50 fight. And it might actually be, as you said, it's a more significant fight than a lot of people are giving it credit for. It's actually a pretty good fight. You've been saying that from the start. So I was a bit meh at first, but now since, looking at more, it's like it's actually a pretty significant fight. So
yeah, and it'll definitely guarantee 50-50. A top 15 ranking for the fighters, and it's definitely going to be Lucas Browne's last. It's his last run. Jason Moloney versus Aston Palicte. That is a very significant fight, as I've explained to the viewers before. The winner is going to go on to fight this Nawafone Kikanha to be the mandatory for the winner of Nonito Donaire and Naoya Inoue, which is going to be WBC, WBA, and IBF Ring Magazine unification. That's going to be this weekend. This Tuesday here in the state. Well, broadcast here in the States at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a 3-fight card that I'm going to be covering on ESPN Plus. I'm going to be streaming during the main event. That's where Jason Moloney's going. But this Aston Palicte, he's a very, very tough fighter, by the way. So what do you think about the fight? And did you get any intel? Well, what do you think about that fight? And then we're going to ask your thoughts on the press conference which you attended yesterday.
I thought very significant fight. A good challenge for Jason. I really think that this will mean that if he can get past this guy, he'll go up to the next level. If he gets past this fight, I think this fight will be more significant than if he fights the Thai bloke. Because the Thai bloke, yes, he's got a good record, but it's full of shithouse fighters.
Yeah, this is a tougher fight from what I can tell.
Absolutely. So if you can get past this bloke, you should get past the Thai bloke without any real dramas. But I wanted to ask you, I sure already know the answer to this, but that WBO belt, is that an eliminator? Because he's ranked number 2 at WBO, isn't he, for Paul Butler? Is that correct?
No. Oh, you mean Moloney. Let's see here.
Yeah, Moloney. I think he's ranked number 2 at WBO.
Number 3. He's ranked number 3.
Number 3. Okay. Yeah.
So,
and where's old mate ranked?
It could be a final eliminator. I don't know, especially how Bob Arum and Top Rank like to work magic with the WBO. I guess we'll probably hear tomorrow during the broadcast. I'll probably, say, and this is going to be a final eliminator for the WBO. But we do know that Jason is targeting that WBC. And it's already been said, already been put out there in media that Jason, if he wins, is going to go on to fight the Thai guy for WBC eliminator. So I'm guessing that's the way to go.
Definitely.
That's the way they're going to go. And about the press conference yesterday, any intel?
No intel. Nothing that hasn't already been said. But holy shit, I couldn't believe my bloody voice gave out when I asked that question. I sounded bloody awful.
Yeah, let me tell the viewers what was going on. Big J with the final press conference yesterday, and he was the last question during the press conference on the main event press conference broadcast, and his voice gave out. Don't let it eat you up. Shit happens.
I'm getting shit from all my mates going, ha, dickhead, biggest voice ever, and gave out at the crucial moment. So, I'm copping all sorts of shit from my mates. they're laughing their asses off. They think it's hilarious. But I got through it. I soldiered on. There was no way in hell I wasn't giving up that question. I thought it was a good question. You think it was a fair question? I thought it was a good question.
Yeah. You know, they didn't get to Lucas Browne because, you know, they were at the end of the broadcast, so they had to wrap it up. But on your end, closing thoughts?
I had an absolute ball at the press conference yesterday. Met Lou DiBella, Bob Arum, Michael Buffer, all the fighters. They're all great guys. My final thoughts is that, this is still going to be a cracking fight. I really don't think that weight will come into issue. I mean, probably right now, is the broadcast still going? Is George come back on the
they got 5
yet?
minutes left. They keep replaying the, I believe they got 5 minutes left. They're still live.
Yeah. They'll probably push over that if George is going to get back on the scales in the next 5 minutes or so to make weight. I couldn't believe that they didn't have that top rank shield sheet thing, they had over the States.
You would think, right? But that's, I'm guessing they didn't want to put that shit on the plane or make one there, but because this is not technically a top rank event, it's a main event. ESPN, a top rank event. So that's ESPN stuff.
Yeah, but they really need to give the fighter some dignity. I mean, surely the towel days, those are out. Can't we, whip something together real quick? You know what I mean? And not just for the blokes, for the ladies as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, give the fighters some dignity. But, final thoughts, I'm fully looking forward to the event tomorrow. I'm so glad. We got a million people that we could thank for allowing us to actually go to the event. And they know who they are. Looking forward to it. Biggest fight in Australian history. I'm praying that George gets over. I'm just, I'm chomping at the bit, mate. I couldn't be happier. So, your final thoughts?
All right. Well, we do have some content that I'm going to be uploading from Big J immediately after this press conference. After this stream is over. And then he's going to be there tomorrow night, at the event tomorrow night for us here in the States and, over in Australia tomorrow morning for you guys. And with that being said, I'm going to let you go, Big J, because I want to recap this weigh-in, and we will talk to you tomorrow.